Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. I'm so delighted to be with one of my favorite filmmakers at New Filmmakers LA. I'm so happy that we've got from LA to Florida. Jennifer, how you doing, Jennifer?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
I love seeing your musical guitars in the background. You're so talented. But for those that haven't seen your film, which is Fish Don't Care When It Rains, it's such a wonderful film. Let's take a look at a clip.
So what does my autism mean to me? Well, I've always been autistic, so I don't know anything else. Just like fish, they're already in the water, so they don't care if it rains. They're already wet. I don't mind being autistic. It's been the vehicle that defines my unique voice. Without my disability, I wouldn't be who I am today. I'm Jen, artist and pineapple grower. So let it rain on me. I'm just out here swimming.
Okay, Jennifer, you know what was so nice when you had your film in our film festival is that you just gave me a really good positive energy that I felt like has existed ever since. And I love watching you in your film. But there are some people that are watching today that haven't seen your film. So could you just maybe explain a little bit about your film to maybe people that haven't seen it?
Well, it's a little documentary. It's based off of a song I wrote called The Fish Don't Care When It Rains. And it's about, we all go through things, and the things I go through is like I have autism and I live in like a residential facility, and I've lived in different places and gone through a lot of things because of that. But the fact is, what it's like to be me or what it's like to be yourself I just related it to the fact that fish are in the water. And I was fishing one day and this occurred to me, like it started raining and we were freaking out because it was raining, and the fish, they don't care. They're already wet. You know, they don't care when it starts raining. And I just thought it was a great metaphor. And one day I wrote a song about it, because if you're already in something and you're already have experienced something and you're living it, you really don't know any other way. So when people think that, oh, it must be hard to have autism, or it must be hard to have this or that, or have gone through that, you're like, well, really, you know, I've lived it. So it just is part of me, and it doesn't really affect me as much as you think it would from your perspective.
I love that you said that. It's funny. I used to fish too, actually, when I was and I know I used to think the same thing. I thought, well, the fish don't mind. I mean, I might stop, but the fish don't mind. Yeah. And I love that you wrote a song about that, because it is a brilliant metaphor. It's so clever, and I'm so glad that you thought of it. I'm so glad that you told this story, and you know, like you have. I think the nicest thing is I felt by watching you in your documentary is like, I want to see more of you, because you have such a wonderful energy and you give out to the world, and you inspire people, and you've got a lot of amazing things to say. Was that something that was important to you? Like when you were making this film, did you kind of like, I want to tell people everything, it's okay, like, you know, like everything is okay, and I am the way I am and you're the way you are, and we can come through together, right?
Yeah, my most important thing I said when I was preparing my script was that I definitely wanted it to end on a positive note and show the light that's inside of me. I didn't want to cancel that out by talking about things that, even though things were very, very hard for me, I wanted to show how I came out of it, and to help other people know there is the other side to things, and there's that relief and that other side, and so that was very important to me.
Well, one thing that I love watching it is I couldn't believe how many things that you did make in this film. Like you did so much, didn't you? You basically you were in it, and you directed it, and you edited it, and you filmed it, and you did the animation. Am I missing anything?
Okay, the music.
Then the music. It's like, wow. It's like, how was that for you, doing all of those things? And do you have some favorite things or things you find more difficult?
It was kind of used to it because I do YouTube, and when you do YouTube, you kind of do all the things. You are all the things, and so that part was. But the most fun part was the music. But the part I didn't want to do was the animation. It's not something I really totally enjoy. But I had done a little series in the past with stories from my life, and I had used that animation with the paint program, and I mentioned it to my friend, and she said, Jen, I really think you need to add the animation. And I was so mad because I knew she was right. But so I added it. So that part wasn't my most fun part. But once it was done, I was really happy with it. And I think it just gave a little extra something to the film to make it a little more special or different. So
it looked good. Like, it was really good. I was just thinking, I thought, how many talents does Jennifer have? She has so many talents. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was mesmerizing. And I love what you said about, like, you know, it may be something you didn't enjoy doing as much, but you still did it anyway, and you challenged yourself. And like, I love how you challenged yourself as a filmmaker and was like, right, this is amazing. You have a really awesome platform, as you mentioned, making YouTube anyway, of Rebranding Autism, which is a channel that I have discovered and love to follow, and I want to keep seeing more of you. And that's something that is important to you, isn't it? It's important to be able to share with your audience, you know, not only your great talents, but also, you know, you're looking at all things in the wrong way, and autism needs rebranding, right?
yeah, and at first it was about, like, I was thinking about, well, autism people think a certain way about it all the time, and everybody with autism is different. I know people have often made assumptions about me when they first meet me. They might notice I have autism, but then they make expectations. They have certain expectations, and I laugh because, like, sometimes I'll use a word that's like not even that big, and they're all so amazed. Oh, very good. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I know words, like. So sometimes I feel like people would set a certain expectations for me, and they think they do that with people with autism, and then it even turned into showing people, all kinds of people, that you don't have to stay in the lane that you think you've been put in. Like, if you have anxiety or other things in your life, you don't have to stay in that one lane that you think is what rules you. You can break out of it, and you can just try something completely opposite that anyone thinks you would do, and try and just show people, and you never know what's going to stick and what's going to become of you.
Yeah, no, exactly. I love that you said it, because especially as you took on so many different roles in the filmmaking, what is your favorite things to do in filmmaking? What do you enjoy the most?
Believe it or not, I love editing because it's like a puzzle that I have to put together. And I know another filmmaker with autism, he said this too. I tend to hyper focus. So when I'm editing, especially when I've shot the footage and I know everything I've got already, and I'm like, okay, let's do this, let's put it together. And you go from these almost random rough shots of different things, and then you make this story that people watch, and they don't even realize it's been edited. If you've done it well, you tell this story that people watch from beginning to end, and making that puzzle come together is my favorite part.
Well, I mean, it was edited, you know, again, really well, and you're used to editing a lot anyway, which is great. And the nicest thing is when you've created a story, when you edit, you get to create the story you want anyway through editing, right? So
Yeah.
it's natural that it's, you know, if you've got skills to do it, that you do it that way. You know what's so nice about meeting you, Jennifer, and being at the film festival and being with a finalist in Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, is that, like, I left when I met you, I was like, I just want to see Jennifer on my screens because she makes me happy. You know, you got a very happy nature, and we need more positivity in the world. And I was like, I just want to see you on all the different channels so you can just make us all feel better and happy, because you got a great energy about you. What has the experience been like for you since you've made your film from audiences, how have people responded? Have you enjoyed the kind of feeling of having your film out there?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It was my first really big thing where I really got out there, and it was scary at first. I was like, oh man, people will pay attention to what I've done. But then I realized it was well received, and I've enjoyed meeting more people and kind of expanding out from just doing YouTube videos, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed expanding into like the filmmaking world and meeting more people who do that. And that's just been a blast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also lovely that you get to share a little bit of your world and your life. Like, I was like, that big, I mean, that fantastic big ball party that is in your film. Like, I was like, what an amazing night that looked like. Like, it looked like so incredible, full of really good people too. Is that as fun as it looks on camera?
Was that the one where I went to the Night to Shine? Was that
Yes,
the one?
the Night
Yeah.
to Shine. It looks so amazing. Was it fun?
Oh my gosh, it was a blast. And that's another thing I put myself out there, because I used to tell myself, I don't dance. I don't do that. Like, I don't let loose and do that. And as I got older, I was like, I'm missing out. I'm just going to do it. And I looked around me, I see other people doing it. You don't have to dance like well, this is an old reference, but like Paula Abdul or, some professional dancer. You can just be you and have fun. And it rubs off on other people, and it helps them too. So yeah, it was that Night to Shine is such a blast.
Oh my goodness, it's like awesome people, and I was like loving it. I'm glad you danced. That was good. And that inspired me actually, because I'm not very good on the dance floor, and I was like, you know what, next time there's music, I'm gonna get up there myself. So
just get out there.
Just get out there, right? So I'm curious now, obviously you got a lot of different things going on. You're putting this film out there, you've got your channel as well. Because I know you shared some really great things that you're working on next. What is next for you? You could share with our audience what you're working on.
I have a film idea that I'm working on with some friends that I met through my YouTube, and it involves a disability and disabled actors. So I'm excited about that. That's kind of more of like a long project that will take longer. In the short term, I've been making some little like microfilms just around where I live, fun little comedies and things that were well received, which I was surprised, because one of them was like, if the joke doesn't hit, the whole thing is ruined. And, and I was like, okay, I just push upload and see what happens. So I'm doing well. Yeah. So I got little short things I'm doing. I'm writing more music. I'm actually have a concert on Friday where I'll be debuting some of my songs from my album at a local music place. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing. I'm so happy with these different things going on. So where can people find you on your channel as well, so people can find out more about you and what you're doing?
Well, I have a lot going on. So the best thing I can say is my website is jennifermsumba.com, and that kind of will lead you to all the things, like whatever you're interested in. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, I listen, I know you've been sharing a lot of like really amazing, things that we should go by and learn as humans about being better and doing better. But as a filmmaker, and as a filmmaker that just overcomes all boundaries, do you have any advice out there that you could share with filmmakers that maybe you think about in your daily life as a filmmaker, or something you can share with our audience for people that want to follow in your footsteps?
The most thing I can share is that like, you're the only one who has your story. So it's easy to try to replicate people you admire and things, and it's good to learn from them. But you tell your own story and you have your own vision. You see things only that way that you see them. And it's good to do things to try to stay true to yourself, and not have to say, oh, I'm going to be like this, even though that's not really how you feel in your heart. I found that the more I followed what's in my heart and the less I tried to be like other people I thought were cool or successful, the better I did, because people could see I was authentic with what I was saying.
You're very authentic in what you're saying, and I honestly love what you share with our audience too, and the same message of inspiration. And I love that you basically have got so many different things from music. I mean, there's probably going to be an album at some point as well, which will be fun. And that you're utilizing the time and making videos. But at New Filmmakers, we love you. So please just keep making more films for us, please. We need you.
I will.
That's okay. But thank you for bringing this project with us. Best wishes on Friday. You've got your event. Best wishes, and thank you very much. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Fantastic.